Are you struggling against any mechs? Well, I'm going to show you how to counter every mech in the game so you can dominate in Mech Arena. And if you do enjoy the video, consider subscribing. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's go. So hard counter means it wins the matchup around 90% of the time, and a soft counter means it wins the matchup around 75% of the time. So let's start with the attacker mechs, and the first mech is Panther. Panther has no hard counters, and his soft counters is Killshot since he can dash through and kill Panther, Surge since he can dash through and stun Panther, and Guardian because he can system crash and remove the Panther barrier. Next is Paragon, Arachnos, and Gatecrasher. They all get hard countered by Surge because they have nothing to protect themselves from Surge. And they all get soft countered by Panther since Panther can shoot through the barrier while they can't. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS them. When one mech has a damage boost and the other doesn't, the one with the damage boost usually wins with the exception of Panther. Next is Stalker, and he has no hard counters, and his only soft counter is Surge. And Surge is a very soft counter. Surge can sneak up on the Stalker and stun him, but it's not an easy feat since Stalker can obliterate Surge. Next is Guardian, he has no hard counters, and his soft counters are Stalker and Brickhouse. They can both out DPS Guardian, and Guardian has nothing to protect himself. Next is Redox, and his hard counter is Surge since he has nothing to protect himself from the stun. And his soft counters is Redeemer since Redeemer can backtrack and remove the Caustic Blast. Guardian since he can system crash him if the Redox tries to Caustic Blast him. Zephyr since he can stun him if the Redox tries to Caustic Blast him. Panther since his barrier counters him. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him. Next, we're going to be doing the Scout mechs, and the first Scout mech is Lancer. So Lancer, when he's on the roof, has no counters. No mech in the game can counter Lancer when he's on the rooftops. All you can do is either snipe him or ignore the Lancer completely. But when Lancer isn't on the roof, he gets hard countered by Surge since he has nothing to protect himself from the stun. And he gets soft countered by Tengu since he has more HP and can out damage him with the jump. And all the tanks since they have way more HP than him. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him. And Panther since his barrier counters him. Next is Killshot, and he has no hard counters, and his soft counters is all the tanks since they have way more HP than the Killshot. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him. And Surge since it's pretty easy to sneak up and stun him. But when you use Killshot EMs, everything changes. The only two mechs that can soft counter him is Stalker since he can kill him with the splash, and Aegis since he can block all the EM shots with the dome. Next is Shadow, and he gets hard countered by Tengu since he has way more HP than him and can destroy him with the jump. And Surge since he can easily sneak up on him and stun him. And he gets soft countered by all the tanks since they have way more HP than him. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him. Next is Tengu, and he gets hard countered by Surge. Surge can stun him and the Tengu can do nothing to stop it. And his soft counters is Zephyr and Guardian. The only reason why Zephyr and Guardian don't hard counter him is because if he has perfect timing, he can jump over the stun and system crash. He also gets soft countered by all the tanks since they have way more HP than him and can destroy him. And he also gets soft countered by Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him. Next is Redeemer, and he has no hard counters. And his soft counters is Stalker since he can kill him with the splash, and Guardian because you can usually sneak up on him and system crash him. Next is Surge, and his hard counters is Zephyr and Guardian. Surge's dash is useless because they can just stun him and system crash him easily. And his soft counter is Redeemer since he can backtrack after being stunned. The reason why Redeemer doesn't hard counter him is because Surge has a shorter cooldown and can use this to outplay him. Next, we're going to be doing the tanks. The first tanks is Juggernaut and Bastion. They both get hard countered by Orion since Orion destroys tanks. And they get hard countered by Surge since they have nothing to defend themselves from the Surge stun. And they get soft countered by Panther since the barrier counters him, Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS them, and Guardian since the system crash counters them really badly. Next is Ares, and his hard counters are the same, and his soft counters are also the same, except he also gets countered by Bastion and Juggernaut. They both counter him since they have more HP than him, and their shields protect them from back damage from disc launchers also. Next is Aegis, and he gets hard countered by Surge. Surge can stun at him and the Aegis can do nothing to stop him. He also gets soft countered by Guardian since Guardian can system crash the dome. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him inside and outside the dome. And Gatecrasher, since he can use his ability through the dome to hit Aegis. Next is Brickhouse, and he gets hard countered by Surge since he has nothing to protect himself. Unlike Stalker, who's faster and can run away, Brickhouse is too slow and can't run away. And he gets soft countered by Stalker since he's much faster than him, and Panther since he can use his barrier to block him. Panther doesn't counter Stalker since Stalker can move around and get better angles, but Brickhouse is too slow and he can't do that against Panther. Next, we're going to be doing the support mechs, and the first support mech is MD. MD gets hard countered by Surge since he has nothing to protect himself from the stun. And he gets soft countered by Tengu since he can easily assassinate him, and Stalker and Brickhouse since they can out DPS him. And all the tanks since they have way more HP than him, and Panther since he can counter him with a barrier. Next is Cheetah, and he also gets hard countered by Surge since he can dash over the mines and stun him. And he gets soft countered by Killshot since he can also dash over the mines, and Guardian since he can system crash away the mines, and Redeemer since he can also backtrack and avoid damage from all the mines, and Stalker and Brickhouse since they can both out DPS him, and Panther since he can counter him with the barrier. Next is Zephyr, and he gets hard countered by Redeemer since Redeemer can just backtrack after getting stunned and kill the Zephyr. And he gets soft countered by both Stalker and Brickhouse since they can both out DPS him, and Panther since he can counter him with the barrier. Next is Orion, and he gets hard countered by Redeemer since he can backtrack and remove the mark, and Surge since he has nothing to protect himself from the stun. And then soft counters is Tengu since with the stealth he can't mark him and then he can easily assassinate him. And Aegis since if he gets marked, he can hide inside the dome and wait until the ability wears off. And Panther since he can counter him with the barrier. And Stalker and Brickhouse since they can both out DPS him. Stalker and Brickhouse can just hide and make sure they don't get marked, and they can easily out DPS Orion. And their abilities also stack with back damage while Orion's doesn't. So this is the Mech Arena counter cycle. Attacker mechs counter tank mechs counter scout mechs, and scout mechs counter attacker mechs. And support mechs are here on the side, not countering anyone and getting countered by everyone. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and see you guys.